Pastor Aswell is going to lead us in the prayer and pledge.
Please join me in prayer. Gracious Heavenly Father, thank you for all the blessings you bestow on us. Thank you for this fine group of young people we have here with us today. Thank you for the opportunity to serve the people of Levy County, and we ask that you guide us, direct us, so that we do your will. Give us wisdom, give us knowledge in making decisions that affect so many lives. And in all things, we give you the blessing. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Do I hear a motion to adopt the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. I'd like to take this time to welcome everybody. Now is the time for any public comments. Okay, seeing none, we would like to welcome Zahir LeBlanc up to the podium, please. Zahir, I want that shirt. I called all three of my kids, and no one was as impressed with today being 22222 as me. But anyway, Mr. Superintendent.
Yes, so Zahir is our spelling bee champion for Levy County. So, and I should have been prepared and should have searched the most difficult word that I could give you today. But he really did an excellent job throughout the whole thing. And also, just want to give him kudos. So he spoke up for a fellow person that was competing and did a wonderful job. So showed a lot of leadership. So in doing so, and we look forward to him representing Levy County. So, and your 5 minutes, you got. Go ahead. So whatever you want to. I'm just kidding. So, but I know you're ready. So, and he represents Williston L very well, and he'll represent Levy County very well. So, but so board members. So if you'd like to maybe stump him or anything.
How much studying did you do?
A lot. There's a lot of pages.
Every
There's
night?
A lot of pages.
Most of the time.
Good job.
So when's your next what level do you go to next?
Regionals, and I'm making it to
Yeah.
There you go. So,
That's wonderful.
What was the word? The word you won on?
demolition.
What?
Demolition.
demolition.
Well, I'm glad you had to spell it. If I'd have messed it up, I wouldn't be here.
So, board members, let's come up front. Let's take a picture with him. He's going to represent Levy County well. So.
He's going to win.
That's what he said. That's why we got the first one.
Where is Regions?
You know where is Regionals in Tallahassee?
Online. And then the.
Right, you want to come see those?
Absolutely, I do.
Okay, I thought you might.
If I could just go back here and sit, because I don't want everybody's head in the way. I'm sorry.
We're all family here.
Wait a minute, I'm missing something. Thank you. You're still my picture. I love it.
Miss Lewis, you still got one?
Hold
on to it.
Go back. Look at this way.
Man's face is hurting. He's been smiling.
Good deal. Good deal. Have a great day.
I know,
I hope you
nationals,
get to go to
wow.
national, and it's actually there, wherever there is. Where would they have that at?
Yeah, where?
It's at the Gaylord Convention Center in
Nashville.
Okay.
We have the, there's a, with the National Spelling Bee, once you have access. You don't have access if you don't win. But you have access because the teacher gives you the list, and then they have your name enrolled in the National Spelling Bee. So you can be a member of the Word Club, and so it helps you. It's an app on the phone, and then my brain hurts because there's so many words I never imagined, but he loves it. So we got to do what we got to do.
What grade are you in?
Fifth.
Wow, that's great.
Wow, that's a good job.
Great job.
Okay, next on the agenda, we're going to celebrate CTE month with with Ms. McElroy. And today, do you want me to read it off, Ms. McElroy, the list of names, or?
Well, let me, if you don't mind,
No,
I'll
no,
start
go.
and then we'll move
Yeah,
on to
yeah,
there,
yeah.
if that's
Okay.
okay. So good morning. So today I wanted to take a few minutes. It is CTE month. As many of you know, it's also National FFA Week, correct? So we've got lots to celebrate here in Levy County. So I wanted to take time to recognize some students and honor some teachers who really work hard every day. It also gives us time this month to recognize the importance of career and technical education in our schools. So I wanted to start with, in the past, CTE might not have been considered rigorous and relevant and all of those things, but career and technical education has really developed and grown over the years. So today, we see the importance of industry certifications and education on employability skills, as well as the impacts it's making on academic learning, making it relevant to real-world experiences. And these are just a few pictures of some things, you know, that happen in career and technical education. So evidence shows that students who earn industry certifications have higher GPAs, significantly more likely to graduate, are less likely to be chronically absent or have disciplinary action, and more likely to take dual enrollment and AP classes, and that's evidence-based. So, just a quick snapshot. Most of you know the programs that we have, but I wanted to make sure that I highlighted what was at each school and the things that we offer, and some really great things are happening. So let's take a look, because I wanted you to see specifically what's happening in Levy County. So health programs, both Chiefland and Williston. And in Chiefland, the group of students, there's 15 students now that will represent HOSA at state competition. So that is a great thing. All right, in ag, this year at National Convention, I had the honor of going, and it was an amazing experience. The picture in the middle are Bronson Middle School students representing the middle school chapter at the national level. And you can see in the picture on the left the hard work that students are doing day in and day out. The next slide also has more ag opportunities. There's lots of hands-on learning that goes on in these programs that really makes math, science, all of those things relevant to real-world learning. So then we're going to take a look. This is really exciting. The aquaculture experiences. We're working on articulating this program this year. That is my goal, to articulate it to college credit. I'm looking at Indian River State College that has that program. So they had their first harvesting this year. They're doing great trips where they're just really doing, I can't say it enough, real world learning. To be able to see what kinds of jobs that will lead them to. And so we'll go on to construction. So in carpentry, the building that's happening, you know, the measurements have to be precise and exact. There's so much math that goes into this. We're working on right now, actually, this program is articulated to Santa Fe College, to their construction program. We're looking at extending that and maybe offering some dual enrollment there through this program. If we can get that all lined up, we're in conversation with Santa Fe with that. And the next program, hospitality, this one is relatively new. It started in Cedar Key. It's now also in Chiefland this year. You can see they're also doing lots of learning. They earned the ServSafe industry certification. And so we've had our first students in Chiefland take that, and we have quite a few passes, and I'll share more information about that in a minute. And then CDE in action. So after students participate in a program, they can actually CDE and work in the communities. And so these are our students actually working in the community and representing Levy County. So we're very proud of our students. So our next slide, I just wanted to take a second and talk about what CTE means to students. So it's rigorous and relevant learning, career training, engagement, college credit, and scholarship opportunities. And something that's very exciting that we've learned is the CAPE scholarship. If a student earns 2.2 industry certifications, those are articulated to college credit, they earn a CAPE scholarship. That scholarship will actually pay for a 4-year degree. And there is no GPA requirement, there is no program completion requirement. And this year alone, when this was learned, it's actually been in place, but as we put these things and made graduation coaches aware, Chiefland really took this to heart, and they sought out students that had earned 1.2 certification. And as of Saturday, now we had students and a teacher come in for a boot camp at Chiefland High School, and some seniors were involved in this because they want to earn this scholarship. We had 6 more seniors pass the ServSafe exam and earn a CAPE scholarship this year. And I was actually there, and when one of the students said, "Yes, I can't wait to call my mom and tell her I've done it," you know, because now his school is paid for. So we're trying to make sure that we identify those things that we can to help our students be successful and have opportunities that they might not otherwise have had, and parents be able to have the relief of, now I have a scholarship to help my student go on to college. So, but I didn't want you just to hear it from me. I've asked Miss Reagan Barnes from Chiefland if you'll come up for just a minute. I wanted you to hear from a student what career and technical education means to them.
Good afternoon. My name is Reagan Barnes. If some of you know me, some of you may not. I'm a junior in high school at Chiefland, and I'm 17. I'm both interactive in FFA and 4-H, which some of them don't root exactly off of it, but I got a lot of things from these programs that have helped influence me throughout both of these activities. So, I've had a lot of CTE classes. I've had middle school ag, and I've had animal science foundations, biotech, which was probably one of the best science classes I ever had, DIT and CDE. So with all these like different classes I've taken that have helped influence me and throughout my high school career, I have found interests in different areas that maybe I already had a little bit of an interest in, but it has impacted them and had made them grow and like blossom kind of. So I'm very into the swine industry and poultry industries. Those are like my main project areas within FFA and 4-H. And inside of those project areas, I have the animal science programs and the biotech programs have helped influence me within those programs, because at one point in time I wanted to be a geneticist for and help just artificial insemination and things like that, and I thought it was so cool. Even though my mind has changed a little bit and I found where the money is in the poultry industry, I definitely like love to learn about all these different animals and everything that these opportunities can provide me. And they also grow my knowledge within the individual industries that I'm in. Even if I'm just learning about something from cattle, it influences me within the swine industry because there's that much more knowledge I can put to my industry that I might have used common sense to figure out within this specific industry. As I was telling you before, I am an FFA and 4-H. I just got elected as next year's sub-district chair for our area, and then I am our 4-H state reporter. So I was also in DIT, which is maybe a little bit of an overlooked CTE program, but it is very useful, and I can say that from the standpoint of I have had to give many presentations as a state 4-H officer, and then I've had to turn around and give lots of presentations as an FFA officer, not necessarily presenting something like, we have a fun day on the farm activity, and it's basically where we bring kids in and we teach them about different aspects of agriculture and stuff like that, and it's just kindergarteners, but it opens their eyes and they learn a little bit, and that makes them want to join and do things like that whenever they get into middle school and high school, and kind of opens their eyes to different industries. But I just wanted to kind of talk with you about like the leadership skills that I've gained through these programs because of all the knowledge that I've gained in the what's the word I'm looking for? Yes, the opportunities that they have given me. And I I would just like to thank you all for having us here today and for recognizing how great Williston FFA has done this past year, because y'all have done amazing. And thank you for allowing us to have these CTE programs and allowing us to go on field trips for FFA and HOSA and, oh, there's a lot of them. All these things are important to us because they help us find our sparks and find the things that we really love to do, and we couldn't do it without them and without y'all allowing us to do them. So thank you all for your time, and thank you for letting us do these things.
Thank you.
So I also wanted to take a moment now for all the students who've come from Williston. Williston has had a phenomenal year this year, and we're very proud of how well they've done and how hard their teachers have worked. If I can get Ms. Cooey and Ms. Harris and Mr. Skipper to come up. Do y'all mind? Because I want to honor the teachers, because without our teachers, we wouldn't have the students as successful as they are. The hours that these teachers put in on the weekends and evenings, afternoons, I promise you the supplement that they get divided by the hours that they work, they might be making about a dime an hour is what I'm calculating. So for middle school, Ms. Cooey, do you want to recognize your team?
Sure.
Okay, so I'm going to let you call up those students because we have some, I want our teachers to recognize these students who have worked hard with these kids.
Well, I'm going to let Ms. Harris call up meets first because she coached the middle school meets
Okay,
team.
awesome.
So the middle school meets kids want to go ahead and come up. So we have Angelica Giannisos, Avery Lewis, Cameron Colbert, Knox Hobby, and then our alternate was Estella Fugit. And they placed first in the preliminary, but what was so exciting about this is that they were first in the state, or first in the preliminary by over 150 points, or about 150 points, which is a big feat.
And normally the first, second, and third place, even up to fifth, sixth, seventh place is usually by 1 or 2 points. Mm-hmm. It's like splitting hairs when we start dividing these things.
And then we also had the 2 highest individual scores. That was Cameron and Angelica. And then Knox was 5th highest individual and Avery was 9th highest individual. So we had the top elite students at that contest.
That's great.
Knox, you have to smile, honey.
Now, do you want pictures with the groups?
Why don't we do this? So go ahead and take a picture there, and then we'll take a picture out by the sign. So when we finish up, so.
Thank you.
All right, so our next one is going to be middle school horse judging. So the middle school horse judging, these kids took a preliminary test back in the fall where they qualified to go to their state finals, which were this past weekend at the state fair. The kids worked hard. Part of their contest was a skill-a-thon where they had to study parts of the horse anatomy. They had feed, they had tack, they had conformation, and then they're judging the actual live horses in the arena with different trots and walks and patterns. They ended up 3rd in the state, which was amazing because we were all shocked. We weren't super confident going in, but they did a really, really good job. So they finished at 3rd in the state, and they'll be recognized at the state FFA convention in June for their placing in top 5.
Yeah.
I'm the duck again.
Boy, sat in the wrong spot.
And then we have middle school livestock. So my middle school livestock team has been working their tails off since October. They came in, we had probably 8 or 9 kids that tried out for that team. We dropped it down to 5. They took a prelim test, and they have literally been practicing their tails off. We practice 3 or 4 times a week for up to 2 hours at a time. They would meet early in the morning, they would stay late at night, we traveled, we went to farms. They knew their stuff. Our kids also have to give oral reasons. And for those that are not familiar with that, the livestock judging contest, in the ring, there's going to be 4 animals. The kids have to place them. And then after the contest is over and the animals are gone, they have to justify their placings orally to a judge. And as a middle schooler, it's scary. Ask Kylie. Kylie's a 6th grader and she came out and she's like, I'm gonna pass out. But it's terrifying. And she had to do it in front of everyone in the arena. So I'm very proud of them. They ended up 9th place in the state, so we were top 10. We were not super excited about our place and we wanted to be a little higher, but the kids have worked very hard and I'm very proud of them for the progress that they've made. We're going back to win the state contest next year, hopefully. But they did finish 9th and we are proud of them.
So next we have the junior chapter meets team. They have to qualify in the top 20 to move on to the state contest, and those members include Lane Whitehurst, Eli Scott, and Jennifer Cook. So they will compete April 16th at UF.
And for the senior chapter meets team, they also qualified, so just me and Rance this morning. Trace had a dual enrollment and Carly Legler's mom had a flat tire, so.
Is there anything else y'all want to share or say, or?
Well, it's FFA week. If you haven't driven by Williston Middle High School, I would do so this week. We had a hay bale decorating contest, and they are super cute. They are adorable. So they're lining up our driveway all the way from the road up to the building on both sides of the road. We have judges coming today to rank them and place them, but if you have a chance to drive by, I would do that.
Who's judging?
Top secret.
Not me.
I think I need some help.
That's all right. Williston Elementary's not mine.
You have to pay to be eligible, right?
So as you can see, there's great things happening in Levy, and it's not. It's a combination of things. We appreciate your support and want to say thank you. But more than that, we want to say thank you to our teachers. They put in countless hours with these students, and they really care about our students. And career and technical education is really a priority for Florida. So we want to keep that going here in Levy County and make sure that we grow our programs and do what we need to do to make sure our students have success at the next level. And that's what it's all about. When you talk about students overcoming their fear when they're presenting, those are soft skills for employability that you just can't put a price tag on even. You know, Reagan, her experiences that she's with her competitions with speaking and all of those things and being an officer, these opportunities make for great citizens that will be financially independent one day and giving back to our community. So thank you.
Thank you very much.
Madam Chair, I just have a couple questions. So, Ms. Barnes, Ms. Lewis, Mr. Conquest, who's the best pig showman?
With company.
I know the three of you travel extensively, so throughout the state, not just at. Calm down, Rance. So you're still good. And Miss Barnes, so didn't you just compete recently? So in something poultry, what was that?
Yes, sir. We competed at the Poultry Judge League CDE.
Yes, ma'am. And how did you guys do?
We placed second at state. I had the privilege of being high individual.
Congratulations.
Good job.
Mr. Cowart, we'll be bringing our other schools at future board
So,
meetings, because
yes,
we do
ma'am.
have some great things happening there as well.
We do, so. And I want to point out two other things. So, Miss Evans, so who's your mama? All right, so, and also, so Mr. Massacote Brack, so, you know, your mama was the the ESP of the year at Williston L, so you've upped your game, so tell her she's got to continue to up her game too, so,
Yes, sir.
okay, all right? So, thank you, Madam Chair.
Okay. At this time, if you guys don't want to stay for the rest of the meeting, you're welcome to leave. Anybody that doesn't want to sit around for math book adoption.
We'll let you get back to class.
No, I think they should stay.
You want to stay? Clearly, you want to
Where are you gonna read?
In the process.
stay. Ms. Ruiz, she's going to go over the math textbook adoption.
Otherwise known as Emma's mom.
So last time I was here, I presented the top 3 choices for Levy County for elementary and secondary. Since then, we have completed our vote, and in your binder, you have the spreadsheet of votes and our winners. Big Ideas won for elementary with 75% of our teachers voting for that one, and Savas won for secondary with 80% of our teachers voting. So I am just bringing this to you and requesting approval of our adoption so we can move forward.
I make the motion to approve.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
Do they transition well? This may seem like a stupid question, but like if I go through elementary school using Big Ideas, now all of a sudden at the next level, I can there's no misstep going to the other one, right?
I think that we'll take care of any of those gaps with curriculum mapping. We'll
Okay.
address the change, and then it's a big shift anyway. They do a lot more with their Chromebooks, a lot more with Canvas. So it's a shift anyway, but we'll address the shift, then the gap between 5th and 6th in our maps.
Okay, cool.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
ELA last year was also the same thing, so it was Savas and Benchmark. So, but our cadres have really done a really good job of coming together and with the curriculum mapping and giving our people a lot of advantages and a lot of support.
Just a question on the secondary, is that 100% of the staff that voted or not?
No, sir. It's only math teachers that
Well,
vote. So yeah. So at every school, there's a math lead teacher. They were responsible for holding voting at their school.
Okay.
So they presented to everybody who was eligible. I don't think that is everybody. I think there were a couple pockets of people, but they had the opportunity to. Yes,
Okay.
Yes, sir.
That's all.
It was well communicated by Ms. Ruiz and those lead.
Thank you.
Any more discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Good job.
Ms. Ruiz. Now we just need to get the books here in time this year. That's our goal.
Working on it.
Right.
Morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
I'm here to present the 3-year ELL plan. It is in your binders. This contains information on how we meet the State Board of Education rules from the consent decree. It also encompasses the procedures and policies for incoming ELL students and how we monitor ELL students once they exit LY status, which was active ELL status. Once the plan is approved by the state, which I will submit by March 1st, after if you give me your approval on, then we will be good with this plan until 2025. Any questions? Pretty lengthy.
It's an intense.
It's pretty lengthy, yes.
Yes, it is.
I will say they didn't change the plan from last time, so I was able to use a lot of what Ms. Boganum had put in place with a couple of tweaks on some of the things that we've done recently or plan to do in the future, which really entails programs that they use.
And the presentation we had at the last board meeting, that is
That
that put into this plan as well?
No, that's
Megan's-
separate. That's like
is it?
world languages. So that's a separate entity, but they're under the same actual state umbrella. So ESOL and world languages is together, but this plan doesn't entail any of that.
I just would like to say that it's amazing. I think there's about 12 bullet points of what you have to work under, that you come out of it at the end of it with something that you're able to, I mean, the working orders are pretty strenuous.
It is, and there's us, with ESOL students, you have the state requirements and you have federal requirements. So Title III is your federal requirements, and then there's ESOL under the state requirements. So you're doing a balancing act with both of those entities there, so.
I don't think most people, or even myself, understand the scrutiny that it's under at all times.
For sure.
Just a comment.
Mr. Etheridge, I would echo that, and I just would like to say, Jamie has taken this on, and you know, in the district office, we all wear many hats, and she's really done a good job with really having a hands-on approach with our school staff and tracking kids to make sure that they have success, and so she deserves kudos. So.
Thank you. I move the adoption of the 3-year ELL plan as presented.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Lott.
Good morning.
Good morning.
We're bringing before you a proposed change in policy for 4.06 requirements for graduation. There's some outdated language within our current policy. We would like for that to be removed from the policy. We did get input also from our secondary principals at our last administrative meeting. They were 100% for that. So coming before you this morning for permission to advertise the change and then proceed from there.
Move approval to advertise.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
Basically, you're deleting language that describes the 18 credit options, what you're doing.
No, the 18 credit option is still in play. Special diploma is not even a diploma option anymore.
The last cohort graduated last year.
So we had planned to bring it to you with the other, but it was overlooked at the time, so.
Okay.
Any further discussion?
So there's no students that will be affected. They're out on the special diploma.
It's no longer a
Right, okay.
diploma option.
Yeah, thank you.
They asked my questions.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Okay, I know you guys have all had a chance to look over the approval of the minutes. Do I hear a motion to approve?
Make a motion to approve the minutes as written.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Consent agenda. I know everyone's had a chance to talk to Mr. Superintendent, but Mr. Asbell, do you have any comments?
No, ma'am. I think all mine were answered, and it looks like we got some good things happening. And I think we're getting rid of a lot of old junk, so that's cool too. As long as we keep Brandon busy, that's really all that.
Keep them busy.
All my questions are answered.
Ms. Boyle?
All my questions are answered. Some good trips coming up for the kids.
Yeah, mine's all answered. I'm happy to see all the trips and the things that are happening. Thank you, that's all.
Congratulations to some who are entering the drop that's put in a long career. Happy to see some new hires in the county. And then last but not least, I always, the professional leave and the trip request to watch our students leave our campuses to go get some outside education, I think is an important part of what we do. That's it.
Yeah, all my questions were answered too. So at this time, do I hear a motion to approve the consent
I'll
agenda?
make a motion to approve.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Mr. Superintendent?
It is National FFA Week, and so it was great to see these students here. Ms. Cooey talked about the hay bale competition. I believe today Bronson Middle High School will be having Bronson Elementary students come across and visit the land lab and being able to see hands-on animals and crops and different things like that. And then I know, not to steal Ms. Brookins' thunder, but I know Chiefland Middle High School is having a cornhole tournament this weekend. And I think this is maybe the second or third one.
Second at least, maybe third.
But that. And the last thing on FFA, I think one of the greatest decisions, personally, I ever made was to join the organization, and it really helped shape and mold me. My only reservation or heartache is I didn't do it sooner. I only did it from sophomore through senior year, but definitely the lessons that are learned through that organization and our other CT organizations. So whether it's FBLA, the HOSA, our new HOSA programs, and also with our hospitality programs that we've started up. Scooter Haven was gracious enough to donate 10 FFA jackets to the Yankeetown FFA program. So and they had an event there a couple Sundays ago, and had staff there, principal, so Miss Westfall, Miss Richardson, Miss Gorey, the FFA advisor, and Chris, so along with the spouses, came out there and supported that organization as they support our students, because they're very giving in that Yankeetown community. Last Monday, so Mr. Etheridge, cooked probably about 50 steaks. 75, sorry. So Miss Cooey and Miss Taylor had an event called Raising the Steaks, where students had done research on genetically grown, or not genetically, excuse me, in a laboratory grown steaks, and they were doing a podcast. They broke up in about 9 different groups, and they asked, so Miss Lewis was a part, Mr. Justin Head, Miss Dickey, Mr. Hawkins, obviously Mr. Etheridge, Miss Bailey Etheridge was a part, so Mr. Justin Hardy. So we're there. So and Denny George from the co-op. So had a diverse group of people that came in and were able to be interviewed about this. And then Mr. Etheridge treated us to some steaks. So it was a wonderful event. So Miss Cooey and Miss Taylor did a really great job with that. Last week, so well, I won't steal Miss Brookins. I'll let her. But when she does talk about football, so I'd like to piggyback and have a comment on that. And last 2 things, Beast Feast was a week ago Saturday. We raised double what we have raised in the past. We hit $30,000, and that just shows the continued giving that it goes on in our communities, and the people that come and cook. Appreciate you guys coming, and Ms. Brookins bringing the clam chowder. So our district office here, admin staff, smoked some pork, and so we had roast beast, and appreciate so Dr. Hall and her husband, and Morgan and Christy and her husband, who helped give it all out. So I know now next time to order a little bit more, so we have a little bit left. But it was really a good event. Had Representative Harding there, had Senator Perry, who probably will end up being our next senator there, came, and appreciate both of them coming and taking the time out of their busy schedules when it's during session. So, and last and not least is I was out Thursday and Friday, and I just appreciate the staff. So Mr. Lott for holding the fort down for me. So had a death in my family, and so I had to take my dad to Ohio had a first cousin. We were trying to get there, and we didn't make it there in time to say goodbyes to him, but just appreciate everybody pitching in, and just I know I was able to get away. So, and I didn't leave my phone. I did take my phone, so I was still accessible. But I just appreciate all the efforts to help out and pitch in. So.
Thank you, Mr. Cowart. Mr. Aswell, do you want to start with this?
Oh, thank you, ma'am. First of all, it is National FFA Week, and on Friday, the Bronson FFA chapter will be, Bronson FFA alumni, will be having their annual food fest. Local delicacies, including mullet and barbecue chicken, some barbecue pork. There's some other meat, and I can't remember what it is. They told me. Swamp cabbage, things like that. The things that make a wholesome, healthy Levy County diet is what will be served there, and there will be a cake auction. We are also fortunate enough that the Bronson Middle High School carpentry class has donated a picnic table to be auctioned off, well, because they work together on lots of things. There's something that I want to address. And people will think this pains me to say this. It does not. It's with great pride that I say this. I'm asked all the time, how is Williston so successful? How are they so good in FFA? I'm proud to say that Williston is part of Levy County, and I'm very proud to say my wife is a product of the Williston FFA chapter. And I tell people this, and you saw an example of it here, and you may not have been picked up on it. But when they were up there talking, you heard the advisor say, these kids, we practice. We practice 4 hours. We practice at night. We practice in the morning. We practice here. We practice there. And then you also hear that you have people like this gentleman here that are in the community that are willing to help that FFA chapter. This man here brings a special set of skills that he's willing to share with those young people, and that helps them be successful. That passes that down. If you want your FFA chapter to be successful, there's a couple things you need. You need good kids, but you need those good advisors, and I'm glad they were recognized. Those people that are willing to go, yeah, I'd like to be at my house eating fried chicken with them, but I'm going to eat pizza with my kids because we got a contest and these kids want to win. And they figure out ways to do it. You show me an FFA advisor who says, okay, we're going to only meet after school. If you want to play football, you want to play baseball, you want to do this, we don't have time for that. We're not going to work the schedule out because we have limited amount of kids. You want to see a bunch of winners? That's an example of what winners do. Winners figure out ways to do what losers won't do. So we have accolades on these people. It's amazing what they can do, and I attribute it to hardworking kids, hardworking advisors. People ask me all the time, how's Wilson so successful? That's what you see. That's what they do. I also want to say, if you also notice, another thing that FFA will teach you is class. Reagan Barnes stood up there, and she is from Chiefland. Supposedly the story is people in Chiefland don't really like people in Williston. That's a falsehood that has been spread forever. They actually love each other. And you saw that young lady say, hasn't Williston done a great job? Okay, if you're back from my day, you know how big that is that somebody from Chiefland thought that Williston had done a good job, and my hat's off to them, and I'm proud. And cut that recorder off, erase all that, because I can't let that out, Mr. Etheridge. Okay? All right, that's all I have.
Ms. Boyle?
Things are going great in Cedar Key. They're just getting ready for softball, baseball, track and field practice. So that's going well. The field's getting cleaned up and new clay brought in, and they're happy about that. Thank you to the maintenance crew back there. The FFA, you know, just hearing about all that and walking into Mrs. Wetherington's class a couple weeks ago, you know, you see some that are cutting the toenails on their bunnies. You see others that are fixing the water for the chickens. And then around the corner, you have others that are making woodworking barbell holders. You know, it's really great to see all the different angles that the kids are doing and learning. And then in a couple weeks from now, I did it last year, but I'll take 4 of the FFA members out on a golf cart, and they get to go, I'll take them around to the local businesses, and they'll have letters prepared, and they'll get to talk to the businesses and tell them about the animals that they have going up at the fair, and hopefully get some donations from the business owners. But it's great to see them off the cuff stand up in front of a business owner and explain it. You know, it's a little nerve-wracking at first, but by the end of the day, they flow with it. And looking forward to the Cedar Key visit today as well. I know they are too, down there.
Thank you, Ms. Perkins.
It was great to see the students here today. It's always wonderful when they're here and part of our board meeting, and I'm very, very proud of their accomplishments and the things that they've done and that they've achieved and will continue. And along with that, with our students and the accomplishments they've achieved, we have a hometown student that has just been awarded a real high honor within our schools, and that's James Corbin. Has the honor of being our new Chiefland High School coach. And we've all known James, his family. His mother does an outstanding job at the school. And I think that James, he's from our community. He's a very fine young man, always has been. I think that he'll do excellent. He has a great rapport with the students. So I think it'll be great. What do you think?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see where he takes the team. So,
He's had some great leadership himself, and I know he'll do a good job. So we're very, very, very proud of, you know, our hometown students. You know, like our young student Adam. It was so we're very, very happy with that. So that's great.
Ms. Perkins, I echo that. The growth that Mr. Corbin has made in the last year and a half. So coming into a profession that wasn't what his education was.
Right.
It's in his blood, obviously, and in his DNA. And I think one of the greatest things, if you take away the football, it's really about the relationships that he has with the kids.
That's right.
And you heard Miss McElroy talk about people being up over the weekend. So that was James's class, and he was up there testing those kids. So that speaks to the volumes of what he brings to the table. And Chiefland Middle High School football is in great hands, and we're really excited and looking forward to it.
We are. That's all. Thank you.
Mr. Etheridge?
I'm not going to beat it, but there's no doubt that the FFA organization is dear to my family, and I sit here watching today, and of all the things that are going on in the county in the winters, and I go, these kids think they're just competing for a contest at this age, but it's amazing what that organization does and how it strikes the kids' interest, but then next thing you know, it drives where they go in their life and careers. And the ability for a young lady to stand up there in 10th grade, I think she said, 10th or 11th grade, and to articulate the way she did, and that's kudos to the way the organization's set up and people who've prodded and pushed her to that level of success. This job always is very intriguing to me because you never know where it might go, and there's times where there's kind of like nothing going on, and then there's times where I don't get to do my day job, and it seems like the past month has been a whirlwind of a lot of fun, and we spend a lot of time bringing our kids in, and it's great that we do. But I tell you what, every now and then we have to step back and look the amazing staff that we have, not only at district level but all the way into the classroom, and I'm excited. I'm an extracurricular person, and I think that when it's built right and the competitiveness, and I prod Chiefland and Bronson all the time because I think when we raise the competition level, it makes everybody better. And whether that's motivating our staff and teachers and our football coaches, baseball, basketball, whatever, we built that trophy that's on the wrong side of the county right now. A while back, but that's in my opinion, that's the reason why. I mean, that's been healthy. We lost that between Chiefland and Williston for years. It's supposed to be a rivalry, and the reason is because it elevates the competition and it makes everybody better. And I had a high school football coach said you could go pick a lot of easy teams, but you never get any better until you play the best. So I appreciate the work that's going on within the county to raise our extracurriculars and the acceptance of root out the acceptance of mediocrity. I think is the way I've been seeing it, that we raise it to the expectation. I think it makes our whole school district better. That's it.
Well, it's all been said. I hate going last. But I do want to say that Yankeetown has a track team now, track and field team. So I don't know if anyone in here follows the Yankeetown school, but they posted a video of some of the kids practicing high jump, which was pretty entertaining. But it's exciting, very exciting for them. And that's really all I have. Again, I mean, FFA is everything in this county, I think. I was proud to be a part of the organization, and my kids are too, and these kids just represent us all so well. But that's all I have.
I think we have some students, so from Ms. Schuler's class back here, so would you mind introducing yourselves? And so tell us what class and what brought you here. Oh.
I'm Victoria Hillman, and we're from Ms. Schuler's American Government class.
All right.
I'm Nicholas David. I'm Hannah Rocco.
I'm Jacob Kalu.
Stephanie Clarky. I'm Guiding
Good deal. So they'll be periodically, I think there's some more, you see guys will be coming and periodically stopping in on the school board meeting, so we appreciate you guys coming and being a part of it.
Okay, no further business. Meeting adjourned.